betrayed him. He still pictures her as you were part of
the pimp. I call him the pimp.
It's in a book that can be stolen, a book that can be cracked open in someone else. But Professor Tatuba does try to clarify when Malik goes back to the past.
And I'll push her in front of the bear. And then what? I'm trying to get out of there. I got a life to live. We can always rematch. Welcome back to the Key and Jay Book podcast. I am your co-host Jay, along with my co-host Key, and y'all should have heard the conversation.
Y'all should have heard it. I was cracking up.
But today we're going to be talking about the final book of Capone.
Capone Book 3. Yes.
3.
Yes.
Book 3 of Capone. How was your Christmas?
My Christmas was amazing. Family time is always the best, as well as a day off from work. So that's always nice. How was your Christmas, Jay?
But the kids got everything they needed. They got the money. They got the beats. They got the, what else they got? What else they got over there? My son got his controller. He got his keyboard and mouse coming. They still got sneakers that gotta come. They got sneakers now in there. They just ordered all of their clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Having older kids is a lot better than having younger kids because I don't got to put everything together. I don't have to use no batteries. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to come out with the screwdriver and Allen keys. Nah, it's just cash, open your gifts, go upstairs. I don't see you for the rest of the day.
Oh my gosh. I remember when I was older for Christmas. Yep. Just here's my mommy like, all right, take y'all stuff upstairs. It's like, okay.
And me and the wife, after we finish recording, we're going to finish this TV show that we're watching called The Diplomat. It's on Netflix. Pretty good show. So we're going to finish that and then relax.
The Diplomat. I feel like I've heard of it, but
great show on Netflix too. But let's not keep the people waiting.
Keep them waiting.
This is the end. This is the final book of Capone. I had my trepidations going into reading this book. I'm thinking that somebody was going to die. Somebody came close to dying, and it was like touch and go. One of my, I ain't gonna say my favorite characters because I've already done I already take my share of hits. You know, Cleveland is one guy, but we'll talk about that. We'll definitely talk about that later on. Let's talk about it. This is a new book, but the same rubric. So let's go with plot. The plot. Did it keep it fire? Did the story, like we're going to just talk around it, did the story grab you early or did it take too long to get going?
No, it definitely grabbed me early, especially because the last book left off as we figured out that Timmy was still alive and Tasha had ran back to Trilla and there was this whole thing and we understood that Trilla was like, I want a son for a son. So now we know that Trilla has the goal of, I'm going to take out CJ. So for me, the plot was amazing in this book. What I liked the most about the plot in this book was there was a lot more action. Okay. Like we know Capone is in the streets. We know he shoots. We know he handles business. But in this book, we got to see so many action scenes. Like Jay mentioned.
The beginning.
Yes, the beginning. Even the beginning. Aaron is going to bail out Capri after she beat Tasha's ass at that restaurant and a shootout happens. Another shootout.
Let's not gloss over. No. You good. Let's not gloss over. Let's just not gloss over Capri whipping Tasha's ass at the dinner table. Yep. Like, let's not skip over that. Go ahead.
Yeah, she beat her ass. Like, and Tasha had it coming, honestly. You don't go up to a married woman while she's with other mixed company and be like, hey, sister wife, and think you're not going to get your ass beat. And I think people underestimate Capri so much, but we learned this in the first book. She's even said she's a little crazy. And look at who her brothers are. I don't know why these girls, Aaron or Ella and Tasha, keep fucking with her. But yes, Tasha's like, oh, hey, sister wife, Aaron beat that ass. And Tasha got all that mouth. You can't even back it up. Like, you can't even fight.
Talking crazy.
Talking
like she
crazy.
was going to do something. She knew she wasn't going to do nothing from the beginning.
And then Naheem was there. Capri told him, like, go ahead and leave. Like, she knew she was going to go to jail. But yes. So, like you said, the plot absolutely hooked me from the beginning with that. All the shootouts that happened. People almost dying. In the beginning.
Trilla sent that word out.
Yep, he sure did. He was like, listen, you didn't took my son, and dumped him at my mom's house. The good one. And dumped him at my mom's house. Like, I want a son for a son. So I thought the plot was fiery from the beginning. I thought it was original. There's a lot of things. For example, the fact that Aaron and Aaron and Capone's son has Down syndrome. I said this from the first book. Daughter has Down syndrome. I said this in the first book. These are things that people really go through. I don't read books about, thugs having kids with Down syndrome. Like, it was
nobody's above anything. We know that this is human life. So it don't matter how much money you got or what percentage of income you got, how rich Capone is or how tough he is. Reality could still strike. And Down syndrome is something that, they have to deal with his parents, and
Yes.
Aaron is scared or whatever the case would be. Capone kind of reassures her that she's still gonna be
always.
the
I still
queen, the
love her.
princess,
That's my
whatever.
baby. Exactly. So yes, I absolutely ate this plot up. Plenty of action, and I was missing the action in the other books. Like, it was a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes, but this book brought that action. Yep. It was like, exactly. It was like a buildup. This book, all the action. So I loved it. What about you? What was your favorite action part?
I would say the shootout in the beginning, seeing Capri handle that firearm, seeing Aaron bust her gun, finally getting taught some lessons, and the lessons showing out, and Kincaid coming through with Capone, and everybody showing up, getting lit up. You know what I'm saying? The way they did the action. I'm driving as I'm listening to it. So I'm and it's 70 on my lane, and I'm driving like, yo, get out the way. I thought something was gonna happen to somebody, but man, that jump was a crazy jump, man, for real.
It was.
I felt like the twist I did not see coming. We did not know, like, even down to when she said she was pregnant from book 2 going into book 3. That was like the end, and then the explanation happened. The twist with Trilla and his son, and then when, as we talk, his nephew, or was his nephew, you know what I'm saying? Like, was his nephew, like, just stuff like that you don't really see coming. Like you said, the Down syndrome diagnosis from the doctor, I didn't see that coming. I didn't see Capri being able to handle herself so well. The Naheem situation, like how he get caught lacking by a lackey, you know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of things that caught me off guard, and I felt like none of it dragged, none of it repeated, because everything was new. Even though it was the same story, everything was new, moving. It was like a real movie. Like, if you're really thinking about it, this book was like a real movie. And it had a beginning, it had a middle, and it definitely had an ending. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt like, and the ending did not fall flat. I loved the ending.
I did
too.
I can't wait to talk about it.
Spectacular. That was real G-sh, you know what I mean? And shout out to Kincaid, man. Shout out to Kincaid.
His crazy ass. He's a little.
And we're gonna see some more. We're gonna see some more of him in these books, and I can't wait. I can't wait till we get into Capadonna, man. But speaking of Kincaid, let's get into characters. Like, as we've been talking about it, it's the same characters. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's been taken out. When we say this, we already talked about how the characters are believable throughout these books. Any new characters that came onto the scene, or somebody that might have stepped up that, that they grew and stuck with you throughout the book?
Big Mike. We met him in the second book. Maybe the end of the first book, he was very, very heavy in the second book. Yes, and in this book, he definitely was too. And we got to see the things that he taught Jaden and even Aaron. Remember, he was teaching them how to shoot. We got to see that.
And Big Mike followed them everywhere.
He followed them everywhere. He wasn't a sleaze. He didn't betray anybody. And that was in the back of my head. Like, if somebody is going to betray Capone, it's going to be Big Mike. Not because I didn't trust him, but he was instrumental to their team. Like, he was just always there. And then the fact that him and Raya are like a thing, I was like, I just love how, kind of, they are.
They talking, they taking it slow.
He asked her to move in with him.
We'll get on.
But Big Mike was definitely a character, like a breakout character for me. I really, really loved him. I loved his character growth. He just seemed like one of the family. He always had their back, like no matter what. He always had Capone's back. And he was just, that's the kind of guy you want on your team. Somebody who's just, he's always there. He's dependable. He's reliable. He has your back. He's a gentleman. He's not an asshole. So I really liked Big Mike. He was one of my favorite characters from this book. I think the character that I liked the least was probably Naheem again, because
cut my boy some slack, especially in this book. Cut my boy some slack.
I tried to cut him some slack, but I'm going to go to this quote that he said that really, really made me mad. Okay. He says, let me find it. He says, I was working hard to forgive her. And her, he's talking about Capri. I was working hard to forgive her for Kincaid and try to get past that. And I was like, nigga, you trying to get past what? She slept with Kincaid because you were cheating on her. In this book, it was like he kept trying to be like, Capri, but you're wrong. Why do you not see that? I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to work it out. And it's like he still didn't quite understand until she had them divorce papers. Like, we're done. Like, you cheated on me first. You continue to cheat on me, and you cheated on me with Tasha. And now she's pregnant. What the fuck I look like being with a man who's got my ex-best friend pregnant? Like, why would I stay with you? So I did get a little frustrated with him in this book, because I just felt like, Naheem, give it up. It's over. It's done with. This is not ever, you're never going to get her back. And he kept trying to get her to take some blame for the demise of their relationship when it was like, you
Mhm.
cheated first. That's the only reason why she did it. But I did feel bad for him. Like you said, he ends up getting pew pew. You know, I don't know what he was doing, but I also feel like his character also had character growth because, you know the thing with Tasha, I thought he was still trying to creep on her, but it turns out that he was putting in, he was,
we ain't going, not yet,
Jay,
not yet.
well, you gonna let me talk about it?
That's happening at the end. We're gonna talk about that at the end. That's getting towards the end of the book. We ain't about to give it to him right now.
He's so strict.
Yeah,
But
listen,
yes,
I
my
can't
favorite
defend
character
him no more.
Capone. My favorite character Capone. Again, I love that. That's my man. His comfort, his care, the way he handles things, the way even when he was sick. Do you remember the scene he was in the hospital and Ella came and he found out that Ella had their son and he was sick. He left the hospital against Aaron's
Ella
wishes.
had the son because old boy was about to set everything up and put
Exactly.
everything in motion and he realized that Ella didn't know what she was doing. Ella didn't know what she was doing, but also Ella was just in a rush to find love. She didn't vet the actual guy, even though she knew that he was, I don't really know. Well, she knew that they was probably related, you know what I'm saying, some way, somehow, but she didn't tie everything together, which
she's a
kind of
good
set
mom.
everything
She
forth
would
in
never
motion.
do anything to put her son in jeopardy.
Of course
That's
not.
why I felt bad for her. Like, because she's just trying to move on. Capone is happy. He didn't got this woman pregnant, moved her and her whole family in. Well, this is what she's been wanting for him for a really long time. She just wants to move on and be happy. And here's this guy comes, oh, I love you. I care about you. I want to be a father to your son. I want to have all these kids with you. Of course, she's going to be, dick whipped a little bit. And that's why I said Capone is my favorite. He just thinks about these things. He's like, my son will not be going back to the house. He will not be in danger. I don't care if I'm sick. I'm going to get my son. So that's why I said he was my favorite character. Least favorite character, probably Tasha, which we'll talk about her. What about you, Jay? Who is your favorite, least favorite new characters?
The new characters is the racing family. I couldn't really remember their names, but I know the wife and her husband. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like their dynamics, and I don't know if they're
Fast
from
and Furious or something. Yeah,
I don't know if they're from that Staten Island book that she also has, Staten Island Love Story. I'm not too sure. Haven't read that one, but they are from Staten Island, and she's a street racer. And this is going to tie into the city. I know the Belt Parkway. I know because I could get on the Belt Parkway at Starlight Island, and it could take me all the way to Coney Island. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm visualized them racing, and I like how she do her little mantra, and even Capri is riding in the car while she like, damn, this girl is whipping and going through traffic. And mind you, that's who Capone had called when he needed to get the car to change away.
So they're connected some way. I feel like they probably have a book.
So when people say it's Jai Universe, I can't wait till we actually get into that story as well, because
they were an interesting couple.
Him calling them kind of like was like, oh snap, he got connections out of it, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And mind you, so I feel like there was I can't wait to get into like, whatever book they're in, and we kind of learn more about them. But my least favorite character in this book was probably Trilla.
Yeah.
No, not Trilla.
Okay.
Sarge is my worst favorite character because he a snitch. How you working with Capone and them, but you snitching? Thank God 40 put Capone on to Sarge being a snitch. You know what I'm saying? And they was able to take care of that. So I don't really condone
they didn't
snitching.
do anything around Sarge. Remember, he was the one who.
But he still knows.
Of course he knows.
Still knows.
Is he the one in the last book who he was telling Naheem? He was just like, yeah, man, that's crazy what Capone did. And Naheem was like, man, what the fuck you talking about?
What you talking about? Like,
yeah, like, I don't know.
Naheem knew he was a snitch, but he knew enough that way he could have got there. He was wearing a wire. Like, he could have got them tied up. He could have got them hemmed up. So, I can't do with the snitching joint.
I mean, even Blaze was a snitch, which surprised me. I mean, he was Trilla's right-hand man in the fact that he had been snitching. But we should have known because he was quick to give it up. Like, they didn't really have to press him. He was trying to get him some coochie, and then he's like, wait, Timmy's alive. Wait, I can tell you more. He's like, I didn't want nothing to do with this. I just was trying to get my money, and it's just like, it doesn't matter. You touched
even the
Aaron.
Spanish junk that he sent to go after Trilla. Yes. Like, can't wait to hear. It's just so many different balancing acts in this whole book that we just can't wait to see. You know what I'm saying? Really. And as we go into dialogue, we already talked about it. Does sound we following the same diagnostic stuff that from the previous books. Everything sound real. Everything sound natural. It wasn't a lot of slang in there. They had enough slang. It wasn't overdone. You know, she didn't
Yeah,
have
it was
them
the perfect
speaking.
mix.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
I
didn't have
agree.
them speaking or sounding different. Like each character, like I had, they sound different. Like King K sound different. You know, he
Mhm.
got the dreads, he young.
Mhm.
Erin, Ella, so like everybody, you can picture the voices. We know Tasha's a hood rat, hood rat, hood rat. So you could picture how she sounds. You know, Naeem, everybody got their own
Distinct
stature
voice.
and distinct voice. You
I
know, so I
agree.
really thought that she tackled the dialogue from my point of view.
Phenomenally. Mhm. I
The
agree.
themes, it's the same thing with the themes. The theme never changed. It's more or less still protecting your family. The
Mhm.
same thing from book 2, Capone trying to juggle, you know what I'm saying, family life, street life, and laying the murder game down flat, all while messing with his it's all messing with his sickle cell. So he's trying to balance everything out, trying to be this superhero character. That's what a protector does. A protector provides, a protector protects. So I think that she carried that theme all the way from book 1, from the
She
start
did.
all the way to book 3. And even though they grew into being stronger individuals,
I
having
agree.
stronger characters and everything like that. So what did you think about the theme?
The same thing you said. Loyalty has always been a really big thing. Family. And I'm not even just talking about biological family, but you look at the circle of people that Capone has around him. All of them are loyal except for maybe Sarge. Like, but they are his family.
Nobody snitches.
Nobody snitches. Like they're ready. So just having people around you who really have your back. So loyalty, family, revenge, especially considering this beef that's going on between Trilla and Capone. You know, Capone then took out, his son, his right hand man, like
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
like he's taking so many of his people in the sake of revenge. Like you don't mess with me because I'm coming for you. And the same thing for Trilla. That was why he was being so stupid. He let his pride get the best of him because he just wanted to get revenge so badly. But revenge, vindictiveness, definitely a theme in this book because everybody seems like they're trying to get their get back. Even Tasha and Capri. Tasha admits how she's a little bit jealous of her and how she felt like she was really doing something sleeping with Naheem. Like, oh, Capri thinks she all that. Well, why is your man in here sleeping with me? Revenge,
Mm-hmm.
pride, loyalty, the same things that have been consistent every single book of the series. And I like that. Like, even though the books are new, those themes are still there. And I feel like she builds on them with each and every book. It just gets stronger and stronger and more apparent. And those themes are really like drawn out as the series goes on.
And yeah, that's true. She did a good job in her theme. And for me, in this number 5, the setting felt amazing. The drag racing, the shootouts, the Naeem getting shot, him being in Brooklyn, them being in Queens, Harlem. Like she really tackled New York City, like for me.
Yeah.
So when I'm reading it, I know you want to go to New York. I know. And if
I
you
was just
go,
telling
you would
Jay that
understand.
New
Right.
York.
She wanted to go to New York for the holidays next year. So, but I can visualize everything that she's talking about because I done been around in these areas. So for me, listening to it and visualizing it, the cities felt real. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and
Yeah.
when you go there, you're going to understand you're going to understand everything she's talking about. Cause you got to go to Harlem, right? You got to go to 42nd Street, Bryant Park. You
See,
got
I'm
to test
scared
out
to
Brooklyn,
explore though, unless I go with somebody who knows where to go. Like
where
when
they
I told you
going.
I've been to New York before, but we stayed in Jersey and we were basically in NYC the entire time, tourist city, Times Square, like getting all the like little trinkets on the side of the road and visiting like what is it, Jimmy Kimmel studio, somebody's studio is there, the Harry Potter store. We did things like that. I do want to explore like Brooklyn, Harlem, but I don't know what parts are good or bad. Me and Michael were thinking about moving there, but we're like, we need somebody to tell us, is this a good area? Is this a bad area? Like,
Hell nah, don't move to no New York. You tripping. It's going to
what's
be a
wrong with
cold.
New York?
Nothing. We'll talk about that off air for sure. I promise you, because that's crazy.
This is like such a
That's
beautiful,
crazy.
magical place. Like, I just would love to wake up like and go to Times Square every day.
You ever seen a rat drink Pepsi off the stairs? Exactly. So, unless you want to share your soda with a rat, I suggest you stay in Indianapolis.
Yeah, I don't do rats. I'm scared of ants.
Oh, what you mean? You don't do rats? They gonna be your friend.
What do you mean
What
they're
you
gonna be my
mean?
friend? When we was
You
in New York
tripping.
City, we didn't see no rats. I didn't
That's
see a
because you didn't
single
stay.
rat.
That's because you didn't stay long enough.
Hell no.
Yeah. All right. You gonna see. I guarantee you. I'm gonna leave
Speaking
this
of
one
the
up.
setting, I want to tell you too. I haven't been to New York, so I've been, but I don't know it enough to say like, oh, that was authentic. But I did like how Jahquel moves the characters in scenes. They're in the hospital, they're in the house, they go to this race, go this city, they're traveling to this house. It wasn't in one place, and it just kept the book engaging because I feel like in the last book, a lot of the book took place in the house because that's where Erin is. She's always coming home. Come back to me, Capone, which I didn't have a problem with it. But that's why I said this book was so great because we get more action. We get them moving and doing more things. So I really like the setting too.
And with her writing style, I'm gonna leave this one to you because this is your baby. This is why this is in the rubric, right? we know it was easy to read. We know the flow was there. This is the one, right? Any grammar or editing issues that pulled you out?
There were grammar and editing issues.
Go ahead.
There were, but like I said in the last review, it didn't pull me out of the reading. And I have tried, like, this is what I'll say. I think it's very, very important to have good editors. Okay. I'm not trying to say editing doesn't matter, but I feel like I don't write books and I don't want to be that person who's overly cruel. All I can say is there were editing errors, but I still really, really enjoyed the book. And I have to understand this is an indie author. I don't think that she has like a huge publishing house behind her that can afford like these huge publishers and editors. And, there's things that come with being with a publishing company. And so I try to be just more polite and more kind to the authors. So that's why I say I will mention that there were definitely grammar errors, mostly being, like I said, there's no question mark at the end of some sentences that are questions, but it did not take me out of the story because I was enjoying it that much. So it didn't really affect the way I read the book. So yes, but they didn't affect. See, I was positive. I'm really working on that. Better.
2026 is going to be a new
I'm turning over a new leaf.
There you go.
I'm gonna stop being so mean.
Now here's the part where it got me as we coming towards the close of the rubric. Number 7, emotional impact. Yo, when Naeem got shot, was like, yo, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I shed a tear. Like, that's how I know the book had, and not because of the character from what happened before. I'm over that. It was just the fact that he was having a baby. He done went through all of this stuff, and yet and still my son get clapped, and it was touch and go. And how she did it with Joy, I wasn't too sure. Like, I didn't want to keep reading because we thinking Joy was gonna make it.
Right.
Next
and then
thing
she's dead.
Gone. So I'm thinking it's over for Naeem because maybe this is how she writes. So that moment right there was like real emotional for me. And I was like, damn, like my boy out of here. I defended you. And granted, I ain't rocking with you like that, right? I had to denounce, my affiliation with him, but I still, you know what I mean? It's still a guy. So that was my emotional moment. What about you?
I don't want to say I got as emotional as you. Jahquel be pulling them twists out of her butt. I'm telling you, because when Naeem got shot, I was like, she's going to kill. And this is the thing. This is why I got to stay away from other fan pages. Okay. Because if I didn't know, if I didn't know that somebody named Meerkat or Mir way down the line
seeing that, right?
Was going to whoop Naeem's ass. I thought that he was going to die. If I wouldn't have read those books, because I know how Jahquel is. We didn't think Joy was going to die, and she just killed her. So Naeem got shot, and I was like, the ending, which we'll get to, that I was like, oh my gosh. I'm trying to think, what was the most. Let me go to my etiquette notes. Have you seen that movie, Baps? I don't know. Okay. But okay, let me see. I think the most emotional moment I had was the frustration that I felt with Erin at times. Like, it was like sometimes she just didn't really understand who Capone was. Like, people are going to try to come after you. You cannot just leave and not tell him where you're going. You remember when she went to go pick up Capri? And she wasn't telling him, like, girl, he has your location, first of all. He's going to know you're lying. And
swinging in some Crocs and sweats.
Literally. And I was I was emotionally frustrated because there was this part in the book where Capri had called her, remember, like, hey, girl, you got to come bail me out. Don't tell my brother nothing, blah, blah, blah. And Capone, of course, is like, what the fuck is going on? She's like, the baby. I was so mad at her. Like, that he's already lost a child, right? He's already lost a child. Exactly. He's already lost a child. That's very traumatic for him. And now you're like, oh my gosh, the baby. And using that to lie to him, to take his mind off of the fact that he knows that you're lying. I was frustrated. I was so frustrated. But again, that speaks to her writing. If I didn't care, it would just be like, whatever. But I was so angry at her. I was angry at Raya. Remember when she came and she was like, oh my gosh, I was just so upset because my mom cared about you more than she cared about me. Listen, I couldn't stand Raya. I don't care about her little apology. Your cousin was shot. That had nothing to do with Aaron. Jaden is your cousin too, and you were not there for him. You completely disappeared. You couldn't even come to the wedding. Remember, they get married in this book. She couldn't even come to the wedding because of her own. So there were definitely moments that I was her own insecurity, where I was angry, where I was frustrated, where I was like, oh my gosh, this book is definitely for me and you. I can see it's emotional. And I say for me and you because I seen this TikTok video and this girl was basically saying like she was just dogging the book. She did not like it. And I'm like, I got everything that she was saying, but this book has me emotionally charged. Like me and the characters are like this. We twisted sisters. We cousins at this point. Like I was so connected and invested in what was happening to the characters.
And what girl would say that this? You know what? I'll just say that girl is an incredible dickhead, and then we'll just move on. That's how much I care for that girl. Like her saying that, like, Ma, get out of here.
It's like when you really love a book and you really love it, but somebody else will say, "Oh, I didn't like this," or "I didn't like this," or "This is just." I think what she said was, "It's a typical book," or I don't know what she. But
she just dirty.
She was not feeling the book.
She just dirty. That's it.
I'm telling you, Jay, the stuff that she was saying was stuff that I was like, I understand what she's saying, but I like the book so much, and I'm removed enough from it where I can be like, you know what? I hear what you're saying, even though I disagree. So that's
people
why I was like,
that don't wash their feet. That's it. You could tell she don't wash her feet. Like she nasty. That's all. You could tell.
She don't like Capone.
Yeah,
she don't
you
wash
could
her
tell.
feet.
She don't wash her feet. You know that, man. You know that already.
That's such a random insult. She don't wash her feet.
I know. And she dirty. So that's what I'm saying. You don't got to talk about her no more. She don't like the book. And
yes,
I wish you would show me her page.
She didn't like it. It's okay. I liked it, and we liked it enough for the both of us. So, but we feel the emotional connection to these characters. That's just what I was trying to say. Like, I don't care what nobody else say. Me and Capone, Aaron, Ella, all of us, we like this. Locked in, exactly.
So for originality, we know it's some new flavor. It's always going to stay fresh. It don't feel recycled. It's a continuous trend throughout all three books, and it just flows perfectly. Now we're gonna get into some of the on-air conversation starters. What part had you hooked in this book 3 of Capone?
Okay, am I allowed to talk about it now, Jay?
Now we can talk about it.
Or do you want to talk about the ending? Because I know you want to talk about the ending. Are you sure?
No. You go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So the ending was crazy. Okay. We know the whole series, Capone and Trilla have this beef. It's really one-sided until
let's not
See,
I
told you.
No, because we gotta make sure that we want to follow all protocol till we get to the end. So when I'm doing the rubric, we also go on in order. We gotta remember that Cap is still in jail.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta remember that Rod was getting beat on by her boyfriend. Wait, Rod was getting beat on by Tevin. Rod
who is the nephew of Trilla. Mm-hmm.
We also know that Rye, Joey, and Aaron have their moment where they kind of speak and emotions get, tossed out in the air, and everybody's talking about you wasn't there for me, and she said, I'm sorry that I took your mother from you, and all of this stuff. So they had their emotional moment, the moment that needed to happen, right? But nobody knew what Rob was going through. So now we understand what Rob was going through. She was getting beat on, right? And then she felt like Aaron took her mother away because her father died too. And she was grieving that, she was lashing out, doing other things, not to mention she was going through a whole abortion or miscarriage or something like that. That's number one. Everything is happening before we get to the end, right? Naeem gets shot. We find out that Trilla's son is the one who actually shoots Naeem, right? We find out that they got Blaze, right? He's in the house. I'm gonna just say that he's in the stash house.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't know where Sarge was at, right? But we didn't know where Sarge was at, but we gonna find out where Sarge was at and all of that. We find out, remember that in the last book that the judge was Trilla's son was on her doorstep in book 2.
Capone
in
got
this
in this
book. Capone kills Trilla's mom.
And then shows up to the funeral. Like, hey, what's up, bro?
Shows up to the funeral.
I was like, Capone.
Kate over there laughing, and Trilla said, yo, I was so scared, but I got to hold tight.
But him admitting that, yes, you know what? We didn't even talk about all that crazy stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to miss it.
Okay. I'm going to let you talk about the Capone funeral thing. You just made me remember, and I have it in my note right here. So I feel like Jaden grew into a man in this book. Do you know what incident I'm referring to?
Yeah, man. When they had to get up out the crib. We
When-
talking about that. I got a whole video that I done did about that. I just ain't posted yet.
I can't wait to see it. Okay.
Because we find out that Aaron, we find out people are coming in the crib. Trilla sent the hit, right? I don't know. He found out where she lived through Ella's location.
Because she was sharing it.
Because she was sharing it with Trilla's nephew, right? So after that, they try to go and do a hit in his crib. Ella, it's funny because Ella came into Aaron's room and she like, yo, this is where I'm going down. This girl is crazy. And she like, shut up, nigga. Like, shut up. I put the kids in the closet with Joy. She go to the safe, boop, 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 boop. And here go Aaron hating ass. I'm not even mad that she got the gun. I'm mad that she know the code to the safe. Girl, are you trying to die? Do you want to die? Samuel Jackson.
I understood her though. I understood her.
You were about to get killed.
No,
you
I'm
focus
saying
on the safe.
Not that, but it was just the fact that remember Capone moved Ella and their son into the house. He didn't even ask Aaron about it. Would you imagine your wife if you said, hey, if you had a child by somebody else and he was like, hey, honey, I'm going to bring my baby mom and she's going to live with us. And that was it. Yeah. You didn't even tell her. You just were like, yeah, she's going to live here.
I'm protecting the whole family.
Of course, but you got to consult with Aaron. I understood her frustration. This woman don't like me.
I don't approve of their relationship anyway.
Whose?
Capone and Aaron?
What?
But that's different. I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into it because I already got.
You mentioned it.
They're already killing me.
What is it? No,
I just don't like their relationship. Like if we being honest, right?
Tell me.
I feel like he could have picked somebody better, in my opinion. Like I felt like Aaron wasn't really who he thought she was. I just don't see the connection. Like when you get to Laya and Capadonna, you're gonna really realize how somebody. I didn't like Ella's voice. Because I listened to it. Ella's voice is the one that threw me off. When you listen to a liar, I felt so comfy. I felt like I had a warm blanket on. You know what I'm saying? And I was never really feeling their relationship to begin with. But I didn't want to say that because if I said that, I'd be on the hook again for Naeem because I just came over that. But I don't like Aaron, bro. I'm not an Aaron fan. I would have preferred for him to be with Ella if you want to get my opinion on that. That's
Jay, you should have said that because there was a part of me that felt the same way. I have always said Capone is my favorite character. I've never said that Aaron is my favorite character.
Right?
I like Capone and I like him regardless of who Aaron is or who his partner was. I just like the kind of man he is. He's protective. He's strong. He takes care of his family. I love those family values, but I have to agree with you a little bit. I mentioned this even. Aaron just didn't seem to understand who Capone was. And I just felt like their relationship, the part of their relationship that I liked the most, and he even commented on this in book 1, was the fact that Aaron didn't take his shit. All the girls be throwing it at him all the time. He don't even have to work for it. What did Tupac say? Baby, take it easy. Hate to sound sleazy. Believe me, I don't want it if it's that easy. You know what I mean? Like, that's how Capone was. I don't want the coochie just thrown at me. Like, let me work for it. And Aaron made him work for it. And he wasn't used to that. It was refreshing. It's kind of like, what's that movie Just Right with Paula Patton and Queen Latifah in it? Remember how Paula declined?
Yeah, she was throwing everything.
But she declined him first. They are not used to that. And that's attracted to men. They want the chase. And that's what Aaron meant to him. Ella was just too easy. He would call her, hey, can you come over? She would be over in a flash with no question.
She loved him.
She loved him. But I'm saying, I agree with you. I don't think that's wrong to say. There's a part of me that, but that scene, the scene that you were just talking about, where Ella was like, I'm ready. I got the gun. Let me go. And Aaron was like panicking. Ella was ready because she knew what it was. It was a part of me that just felt like Aaron just never grasped the seriousness of it. Like, come on, girl, he's in the streets. Like, buckle up, you know? So I agree with you. There was a part of me that I didn't like Ella, but I feel like Capone and her understood each other a lot better than him and Aaron was. And this is one thing I said. It wasn't really a critique because we'll get to the rating of the book. But I feel like Capone sometimes is trying to convince himself that he loves Aaron. Do you know how he's always like, didn't I tell you I love you? I love you. And like several times in the book, he'd be talking to himself, you know, I love her so much. I want to protect her. 2 pages later, I love her so much. I want to protect her. It's like he kept saying it. And there was a part of me that was just like, listen, we get it. You love her. Who are you trying to convince? You know? And it was clear that he loved her. But he just kept repeating it. Even Ella, there was a scene where she was watching them dance and she was like, Capone looked at Ella in a way that he had never looked at her. So I'm an outsider looking in. I treat these characters like they real. That's their business. They want to be together. They want to be together. But I agree with you, Jay. Long story short, I agree with you. I wasn't always my favorite character. And I told you in this book, she pissed me off by pretending that something was wrong with the baby to get him away from the fact that she was lying. Like, I couldn't believe that she did that knowing that he lost a child. I'm like, girl, you know that was fucked up. That was fucked up.
True.
But the scene I was talking about with Jaden was, remember, he took out Timmy.
Yeah,
Remember?
but we gonna get to that. We gonna get to that. But then this is where the shootout happens. So after they get out the crib, Ella helps them escape. Jaden comes through the room with Joy, and they all kind of get out the house and they all go through the front doors. Guards laid out everywhere. They get in. They getting chased, and they kind of reach out to Capone, and him and Kincaid and everybody comes up on them, and they waste everybody. But Ella's busting her gun. She's directing Erin on what to do. Erin, take the wheel. I'ma have to do this, right? She directed it. Even in the shootout, she like, Erin on your left, bust as she's shooting out. You know what I'm saying? While their son is in the bottom, is in the back of the car on the floor, and it's like she's doing all the directing. So I just felt like that was like a big plus for me. Naeem comes to. We find out that he gets shot by Trilla's son as he goes to confront them or whatever the case may be. He's laid up, but he comes through.
Mm-hmm.
We also find out that after Capone and them went to the funeral, they left in the Maybach or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
And we found out that the judge was crooked. She wasn't innocent. So that's
she
how
wasn't. With a son like Trilla, there was no way that she wasn't.
That's how her son was able to stay on top, because she was removing them, getting arrest warrants and getting search warrants for all of his competition.
Yeah,
he could, you know what I'm saying? So she was feeding off of that as well. 40 stayed in their corner because he's Capone's best friend. So he was feeding intel.
He's Capadonna's best friend.
Capadonna's best friend, and he was feeding intel to Capone. They get married in Barbados. They have a big funeral. They have a big wedding. He asked
that, like
Jaden
I said, Rye was not there for.
Right.
Couldn't
she
believe
has
it.
a big wedding. I'm tripping. A big wedding. And I like what Capone did. He asked Jaden for her hand in marriage the night or the week, whatever, prior to. That was dope. He had the whole fam there. She had her majority of her family there. And that's really, I didn't want to go without talking about those subplots, you know what I mean? Because we ruining the book for them, but I really don't care because they should have read it.
Yeah, you got to read it before you come to this podcast, because we putting it all on the line.
That's right. Naeem gets his divorce papers. He finally comes to realize that she doesn't want to be with him. They sell a condo. She gets her own little townhouse or whatever the case may be. And what else happened? We get to the end. That's pretty much like stuff throughout the book. We got to talk about the Timmy situation, and I'm going to let you get on that end. I'm going to let you carry us home on the end. We find out that earlier that Jaden wanted to kill Timmy, and him and his homeboys was keeping tabs on Timmy because his homeboy Jerome gave him the information that Timmy was back. And he would let Capone know, and Capone was like, I'm already on it. You're going to just watch the news. You're going to start to see bodies drop, basically, but just watch the news. So they was able to get the location on Timmy. They was able to get him. Jaden came in there. They kind of had words. Timmy wasn't really going out like no punk. I like that he called Tasha and they kind of had the last words, and Timmy put that tool. Jada put that tool on him and embodied him. You know what I'm saying? So everything was kind of falling into place as I'm talking about this. So if you need to go back and listen again, just go back and listen again to the last 4 or 5 minutes of my ranting, and I'm gonna let my co-host bring it all the way home.
Well, I still want to speak on the Jaden and Timmy thing. I thought that when you asked like what moment had me like what. Because there was a part of me, I'm not going to lie, I feel like Timmy's not going to be able to do, or Jaden's not going to be able to do it. You know, Capone was with him. He's like, are you sure? And again, this speaks to how much I love Capone. He knew that this was going to be a thing with Erin. And he's even told her, like, we're not going to have no secrets. That's why I couldn't stand the fact that she wanted him to be honest with her all the time, but she's lying to him to protect her relationship with Capri. And it's just like, but you're putting yourself in danger anyway. He knew that this was going to be a big thing for Erin. He told her, look, your brother's going to do this whether you want him to or not. We're just letting you know. So he definitely let Erin know. She's like, look, I don't want, and this is another thing. Capone didn't want Jaden in that lifestyle, but he understood, like, he shot you, he tried to kill you, and he killed the love of your life. Like, you got to get that get back. And your baby. So that scene was just like everything came full circle. And Timmy had to meet the Reaper for the second time. You know, he faked it the first time, but honestly, Timmy was stupid, just like his dumbass mom. Like, how are you supposed to be dead, but you're just out in the open walking around? Like, you don't have people wanting you and wanting your head on the platter. Like, but yeah, that was cold talk. Jaden called Tasha, like, we're say goodbye to your son for real this time. Click. Boom, he's dead. So that part was really crazy. And then, Jay, I don't want to ruin it for you. I know you really, really thought that ending was crazy. So Are you sure you want me to?
Yeah,
I could dip my feet in. I'm gonna because Jay was excited to talk about this earlier. So if you remember, we found out in the first book or the second book that the reason why Aaron's parents killed herself was because they were working for Trilla, and Trilla said, either you kill yourself or I'm gonna kill your kids in front of you. So
because they were skimming off the top, though.
Because they were
stealing money.
They were stealing his money. So, in Trilla's point of view, he thinks, damn, I done lost everybody. My mom. Trilla killed his own nephew for getting smart with him. Okay? That's another thing. Trilla doesn't have loyal people around him. He is not loyal to his people. That's why his empire, crashed and burned.
Crumbles.
Lost his mom. Killed his nephew. Lost his son.
Lost both his sons.
Both his sons. Lost his right-hand man. He's lost everyone. And Trilla's like, you know what? I'm just going to fly somewhere. I got a little nest egg. He thought that he was going to go to Miami. He wasn't going to face the consequences. Capone and Kincaid met him in Miami, and Capone gave him the choice. He gave him the gun. He said, look.
He said, it's one bullet. So if you shoot one of us, you got to make it count, because if not, we're going to light you up.
We're going to light you up. You can kill yourself, or Kincaid, what did he say? He's going to take your fingernails off one by one or some crazy
Kincaid
shit like that. And laughing like, ha ha.
Crazy ass.
It's crazy. I don't know. It's something about him that I like. I know he's a little crazy. I like that. But yes, the ending was crazy. And I feel like Jahquel did this intentionally, because remember, Trilla told her parents, Aaron's parents, kill yourselves or this is what I'm gonna do. So Capone gave Trilla that choice: kill yourself or we gon' handle you. And of course Trilla had to, and even in the end, I feel like he admitted, like, dang, he's smarter than me. He got me. Like, I'm done. I thought that ending was crazy, because I truly thought Trilla had got away. I mean, he was gone. Nah, Capone said, we beefing for life, and I'm about to smoke you out. So yes, the ending was.
He gave him that, told him to click. Either you gonna do it or we gonna do it. So I'm giving you the opportunity, right? Yep. But I like Trilla's little soliloquy, about coming to the realization that it's over, that his empire crumbled. He was talking all that big stuff about how they little Negroes, I raised them, basically, they wouldn't be nothing without me, da-da-da-da-da. And then to hear his little soliloquy at the end, like waking up, looking at Martin on the episode and Capone, like saying, like, yo, this is what you always used to watch, you know what I'm saying? And them having a little moment before he had to go. And I thought that was like a dope ending for Trilla, because it could have ended a lot worse. One bullet, one to the head.
But look,
and
Capone
you'll never
took
realize
out his entire network. Like his mom, his sons, he killed one of his own nephews because he failed and trying to get revenge for, to try to get little CJ. Like, he had nothing left. Even if he did live, like, he was a joke. No one was what would he have done? And then that's not even like the end. The part when we find out what happened to Tasha.
She got what she wanted.
Like this, Hercules. I was so excited. I was so happy. Like, yes, bitch.
A soundproof basement is the reason why she didn't really know what was going on. The whole time they torturing and murdering Sarge and Blaze, and she don't really know what's going on under her. So I like the fact that she asked Naeem for money and a place to stay, which Capone knew she was going to slide over back to that side. And Naeem being loyal and didn't keep anything from Capone, they was able to keep that emotion. Like, that wasn't even Naeem's crib. That was the stash house, which Naeem was never really even staying there. You know what I'm saying? And I like the fact that they planted those two bodies in there, planted Tasha, planted everything up there. And when the cops ran in the house, all the evidence pointed to her, right?
Yep.
And she didn't know.
She was the only one that had been in that house.
I like the fact that Capone and them was sitting in the crowd, and he kind of watched her as she was going. She know it's over for her. She got to do this time. She was begging. And then she calls up her best friend as she gets locked up, Ella. And Ella goes to her because Ella didn't know that Tasha knew that they was going to kidnap CJ, but she did know because she was messing with Trilla, and she goes up there for confirmation. Her thing was, I'll help you still if you give me confirmation. In her brain, it was like, okay, if she doesn't lie, I'll help her some way, somehow. And she goes up there for confirmation because Ella wouldn't have put her son in jeopardy, like you said. So when she gets up there, Tasha lies when she asks her, and then she gets all upset, and she like, bitch, you da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And Ella's like, you're going to burn in hell, and they're going to take your baby, right? And you ain't going to never be able to see your baby. And then she's leaving. Tasha screaming, fighting the guards. Come back here. You hear me talking to you. This ain't over. Da, 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 da. That was a so surreal ending for Tasha. She got what she deserved. Ella got her get back because we was frenemies, but still I would have never put your son in danger. Yet and still you would have got my son killed, and you knew and you never gave me the heads up. Yeah, I'm gonna come in here into your face and I'm gonna challenge you on it. And when you lie to me, now I'm gonna make sure you eat your words.
Yeah, and I don't think Ella ever was going to help her. I think she wanted to see if Tasha was going to admit, but how do you think Capone is going to feel if she gives this bitch money to get a good lawyer to help her get her off? He would not have liked that. You know what I mean? Like, why are you helping this bitch? Like, she was implicated in someone trying to get, right. But I definitely think, like Ella, I would have wanted that one last confrontation. Like, did you do this? But it was just the fact that Tasha didn't care about who she hurt. She would lie to get herself out of anything. Yeah, and her credibility was shot. But the one thing about Tasha that I still could not figure out was why she was so certain that Naheem was the baby daddy. He had even said that he knew that Tasha had been messing around with other people when she was messing around with him. And it just was like, I just wanted to get some kind of, no, I think, did he get a paternity test? I feel like that was mentioned in the book. He did.
At the end,
that was happening.
She had a baby, and he takes the baby. And I remember Capone saying Capri. It was like Capri was over there every day helping Naeem, and I thought that was dope. You know what I'm saying? Like she loves him enough to help him with the baby because the baby is innocent in all of these things. Yeah. And Naeem is a first time father, so all of these things happen. Capone, they have the baby. It's basically a happy ending. Everybody got their happy ending. The kids, both kids was born. She does have Down syndrome, but they love her, right? They loving on her. Jaden is going away to school. Everything is going well. And then Big Cap gets released from prison at the end.
FDO, first day out, fuck the feds. Like, what does that say?
Cap is his first day out. He like, yo.
It's his first day out.
Big, he like, yo, bro. And I like the exchange of power. Capone is like, yo, bro, I got a family. I'm tired, bro. I held it down as long as I could. I'm giving this up to you. Most people will have a problem relinquishing power. That's how you know. That's what I like about Capone. He gave it all to his brother in one swoop. I don't care. We run it together, but it's yours. I'm done, bro. I got a family to raise.
He has a family, and not only does he have a son, he has a wife. He has 2 kids. He has to take care of business. So it was like him passing the reins to his big brother. I mean, his brother is only 6 minutes older than him or something. Like I said, as soon as he did it, literally the song in my head was like, FDO, first day out.
Yo, man, don't worry. Big Cap is home, yo, and they about to fucking feel it. That's how it sounded in the audio book.
Jay, you touched on this, that Capri still is trying to help Naheem. There was a part of me that was, although I love Capone, I love Capadonna, they seem like these men who handle business. I was frustrated because I felt like Naheem went to Capadonna like, yeah, I cheated on her and I cheated on her with Tasha. He's like, yeah, don't tell her, try to work it out. I'm just thinking, why would you want your sister with a man like him anyway? And Capone said to Kincaid, like, if you break my sister's heart, blah, 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 I'm going to do this and that. I was just thinking, I don't believe you. Like, Naheem broke his sister's heart.
Well, Naheem is different.
But that's what I was going to say. In this book, many, many times, Capri was like, I still wanted to have a friendship with Naheem. He's still a part of the family. He don't have nobody else. I'm not trying to get him hemmed up. And she even says, I don't want my brothers to do anything. Like, it just is what it is. Our relationship has ended. And I'm really happy that Jahquel made that clear, because I've seen a lot of comments when we talk about this book and people were saying the same thing. Like, that's why they like Mir so much, who I don't know who Mir is, but I guess Mir whoops Naheem's ass and he tells the brothers, I can't believe y'all didn't do this sooner. Like, y'all let him fuck with Capri like this. And there was a part of me that I agree, because, like, how are y'all gonna let this man fuck with y'all sister? Family or not? Like, he's not y'all real family. He is a friend. He is an associate. He broke y'all sister's heart. Punch him, at least. Do something. And they didn't do anything. But in this book, Capri is very, very clear. She doesn't want them to do anything. Like, she still considers Naheem family, even if she doesn't want to be with him. Remember when he got out the hospital, she even volunteered to help him. And he was like, no, if we're not going to be together, I think I just should start moving on my own. So I forgot to say that when you were talking about it, but it was something that bothered me in the series, because I feel like, these are supposed to be men who handle business. Capone don't cheat on Aaron. Like, so why would he be okay with Naheem cheating on his sister? But she didn't want them to do anything. She didn't want him or Capadonna to do anything. She wanted to handle it, and she did. They got a divorce. Like you said, Naheem moved on. He got his newborn baby. Tasha will be in jail forever. And I'm gonna say something else. Jahquel's writing is so intricate because think about it. We didn't know that Capone and Naheem were doing all this behind the scenes. I was wondering what the hell happened to Blaze. Turns out he's in Tasha's basement. I remember when Naheem first gave Tasha the house, I wanted to strangle him, Jay. I was like, why the fuck are you still helping this woman who basically ruined your marriage? You probably could have got back with Capri if she didn't come out and tell her that you were pregnant. And the whole time it was a setup. Like the genius of that. This book and the ending was beautiful. Like everybody got their justice. The Delgado family is still whole and healed. Capone got his wife. Capadonna's out. Caprita moved on. And I can't wait to get to her books, honestly. I want to know what happens with her and Kincaid. You want to tell me what happens in the first book of Capadonna? Tell me.
Nah,
Jay,
final verdict. What are we saying? We obviously gonna say certified heat. We gonna just say certified.
You know that.
And what did you give it? What's the bookmarks? What did you give it?
You know what I gave it.
5 bookmarks.
It's the same thing I gave the last book.
5 bookmarks. So she going 555, like the old Domino's deal, the 555 deal.
This one was my favorite book by far. I told you.
This is my favorite book.
It was just.
This is my favorite.
It was the
book
perfect wrap up to season 1 of the Delgado series.
But I gave it a 3.5. I gave the book a 3.5. Couldn't do it. This was the worst book. Nah, I'm just messing with you.
Honestly, you just said it was the best book, Jay. I was like, okay, I'm gonna hear him out, but I was over here like,
nah. This is a certified. This is a 5. This book was a 5, hands down.
What? We finally got a 5-star from Jay, but I get what you're saying. You wanted to build. It was a 5 bookmark.
Yeah. It's a 5 bookmark. The ending was just amazing. The book was amazing. The book series was amazing. I can't wait till we start Capadonna here in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
And it's gonna be on because Big Cap is home. And I heard he's the more vicious. Trilla said he's the more vicious one. Capone said he's the most vicious one.
No, I heard that. I heard he's nuts, so I can't wait. I can't wait to see it.
Before we get out of here, you got anything to say to the people?
No. Well, yes. I'll be running my mouth. Just thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for the engagement constantly. Thank y'all for laughing with us in our videos. And just stay tuned. Like, we are rocked and rolling with Jahquel. She has become one of my favorite authors just from 3 books because I'm just obsessed. And I'm so happy for the people who introduced Jay to this series. This series was actually his suggestion. So round of applause to Jay. You picked a good one. Absolutely. And I appreciate my co-host. I just wanted to say that as the year comes to a close, Jay is the one who brought me on to the Key and J Books podcast, and he has taught me so much. And I'm just so appreciative of not only him, but the people who have supported us, continue to engage, and continue to follow us. Thank you. I love you. So
we love y'all too, man. Shout out to you for sticking it out, man, for sticking it out with me. We got a bunch of things coming in 2026. I can't wait.
Lots of exciting things. Yes.
To see what happens. Like I say, we've only done this from June to now. So we missed the first quarter. We missed the first 6 months. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see what happens and tap in with us, y'all. Keep us active and go to our YouTube, our Facebook, subscribe, follow, do
We're
all
everywhere.
of that stuff. We're everywhere. Continue to show support to us as we go through this whole series. We probably still got maybe 12 more books left in the series. So we're just going to keep reading, man.
Yep.
So that's it for us, man. Until next week. Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
This is our last episode for 2025. Like I said, like Key said, man, we're grateful to be able to come on here and talk books with y'all, something that we love. And we will see y'all next year. Until then, she's the reader. I'm just a speaker.
Peace.